What's up guys, Tealus here with another Warlords of Draenor beta video. In this video I will be looking at the first of the Hunter specs in Beast Mastery Hunters. I will be taking a look at their major changes, their new changed and removed abilities, their new glyphs, their new Draenor perks, and then finally their new and changed talents. Now, I waited a long time before even bothering to relay any information regarding Hunters and Warlords of Draenor, and that's because, well, when I started playing a Hunter for the first time on Beta Realms, they were terrible. Blizzard completely gutted the class, and I knew there had to be some major changes coming to address their problems. Sure enough, very late in the development process, Blizzard finally decided to, reevaluate Hunters. They basically took all of their abilities and they, rebalanced damage coefficients, focus costs, etc., and they even went into the talent tree and changed some things there. Basically, they revitalized a class that really kind of felt unplayable throughout most of beta. With that being said, there are several major changes to Beast Mastery Hunter. First, I've already started to discuss this, but the class got gutted. Why? Well, Blizzard wanted to differentiate the three Hunter specs, and they decided to do this by making certain abilities spec specific. So for example, Serpent Sting is now only available to survival hunters. When you take several abilities like this and you make them spec specific, all it does is end up making each of the specs feel gutted individually. And that's what happened. Do I feel that that I've gained some distance from how a marksmanship hunter plays or a survival hunter plays? Not really. I can tell you right now on Beta Realms as a Beast Mastery Hunter, I feel as close to marksmanship and survival as I do on live realms. So I really don't feel like they succeeded there. However, each of the specs did lose one major ability that they used to have. For Beast Mastery Hunters, it was just Serpent Sting. That's probably why throughout most of beta, most hunters felt that, Beast Mastery was really the only playable spec. Because, Cobra Shot did all the work for Serpent Sting, so it's not such a huge loss to lose something like that. Another major change to Beast Mastery Hunters, it comes in the form of pets losing all of their CC. Basically, any type of root or, disarm or silence has been removed from the game, and it's really disappointing. There are a few snares left, but otherwise there's not much there. Blizzard, first of all, had to remove the disarms and the silences because basically Blizzard has removed those all out of the game. Like every single silence and snare has been removed from the game. However, they could have left some, interrupts or something on the pets, but they decided not to do that, and that's really disappointing. However, the reason why they kind of cut down on Hunter Pet CC is because Hunters are the only class that is still mobile. And so having, pets that can root you makes it really difficult to kill a hunter ever as a melee, just because of the changes that they've made with caster mobility. Hunters are now back in the glory days to which they're the only class that can really just move 100% of the time and attack you from a distance. And so that is part of the reason why CC was cut down. The third major change to Beast Mastery Hunters is actually really cool, and it's, kind of some bright news compared to the bad news Beast Masteries I've given you about Beast Mastery so far. And that's the fact that there are instant traps now. Now, basically, before, there used to be kind of a slow exchange between data when you would, fire the trap and it would have to arm. Now, it's instantaneous. It arms instantaneously, and when you use a trap launcher, it will attack instantaneously. This is an explosive trap. I prefer to call it my explosive grenade because that's what it feels like. Launch it off, you can see the second it hits, it explodes, and even the trap animation comes afterwards. That's how quickly it explodes. Even better, take a look at how large this activation radius is for the traps. For those who used freezing trap before, a lot, it's going to be so easy to trap someone using freezing trap. I'm going to barely touch the toe of this shredder on the left hand side of me, and you'll see I can still get him with this trap. Gonna go and hit, and there you go. You see the beautiful new freezing trap spell visual, but that was a large radius, and it was very easy for me to trap the target with that, change to the instant traps and whatnot. So definitely a great change there. The last major change that I'm going to go through, it's kind of it's more of a minor thing, is that a lot of abilities were consolidated, and I'll go through it as I go through the new abilities and changed abilities, but just know that they were changed to kind of reduce the amount of spellbook bloat in the game. So, there's one new ability for all hunters in Warlords of Draenor, and that is Aspect of the Fox. They've basically brought it back and they've changed it completely. This is a raid utility that is awesome, and I guarantee you hunters will be taken just for this raid utility. Aspect of the Fox. Party and raid members within 40 yards take on the aspects of the fox, allowing them to move while casting spells and abilities for 6 seconds. Now, you may not think it's that great, but trust me, every single caster and healer had their mobility really just diced in half, chopped to pieces. So, it's going to be very important, like let's say in a raid setting where everyone has to get to a boss, like a section, to avoid a boss AoE, and everyone's running there, but the raid is like almost dead. The raid leader can call for Aspect of the Fox so that the healers can continue to heal on the run while everyone's running to the little safe zone before the boss hits off its huge AoE. That's kind of like the benefit of having something like Aspect of the Fox, and I guarantee you hunters will be taken for that raid utility. There are several changed abilities for a Beast Mastery Hunter in Warlords of Draenor. First, you should know that misdirection has been changed a little bit. Instead of it just being the first shot that's fired and then 4 seconds after you transfer threat, it's now starts instantly and it's 8 seconds of transferred threat. So a little bit change on how misdirection operates there. Revive Pet is now a 2-second cast down from 4 seconds. This is awesome. Definitely something you're going to really like in Warlords of Draenor. I've had to revive my pet several times because pets just aren't as survivable as they used to be. Cobra Strikes has been, kind of retooled a little bit. It's had its, chance from Arcane Shot to proc increased a little bit, but it now only grants 1 charge. I don't know if this was because, charges were maxing out or they needed to nerf, hunters, but either way, it's a small change there, and it's basically a nerf for Cobra Strikes. The last change is that Kill Shot will now grant 15% health if the target dies. That's kind of a small change there to improve the survivability of hunters. There are several removed abilities for Beast Mastery Hunters. It kind of goes along with the fact that the class was gutted. This will be almost all of them. There will be even more when I discuss in talents. First, Aspect of the Hawk has been removed. Really, you shouldn't miss this because it was always activated anyways. It's just removed from the game because everyone had it. Hunter's Mark has been removed. I really am disappointed in this because it was an iconic hunter ability and I really like the stealth detection, and I kind of hope in the future they bring it back as a minor glyph that you can have, or just as a regular ability that you can have without the damage modifier. Scattershot has been removed from the game. If you are a person like me that use Scattershot to interrupt spell casting or to put some distance between you and the enemy, honestly, this will hurt. I really tried to get Scattershot back in the game. I was making forum posts all over the place, and really they just felt hunters did not need it. It goes along with the fact that hunters are so mobile now compared to the other classes that they felt they didn't need it. However, if you use Scattershot in conjunction with Freezing Trap, that's all you used it for, you will not miss it one bit. You won't miss it at all because of all the changes that I showed you with the traps. I mean, just take a look at this Freezing Trap again. All you have to do is lead off whoever's following you or wherever you want to trap by a little bit, and you will have a huge radius for them to be trapped. If someone, if you want to hit someone that's kind of standing still and you don't want to miss them, it's going to be really hard to miss them with this area of effect. So, honestly, if that's what you use Scattershot for, I don't think you'll miss Scattershot that much. Scare Beast has been, removed from the game. There's really no explanation. Blizzard just wanted to remove it. Serpent Sting, as mentioned, has been removed from Beast Mastery. Widow Venom has been removed. Really any type of, healing reduction or mortal wounds type effects have been removed from the game. Frenzy has been removed from the game and merged directly into Focus Fire. This is kind of awkward because Frenzy is a passive for your pet, but it interacts with Focus Fire, so it's just kind of weird seeing them in the same tooltip, but that's where it is. Go for the Throat has been removed, and all of its effects have been merged directly into Invigoration, so no changes there, just don't look for Go for the Throat in your spellbook. And same thing with Beast Within, that has been merged directly into Bestial Wrath. Just another spellbook merger to reduce spellbook bloat. The last removal is Silencing Shot. As I mentioned earlier with Hunter Pet CC, Blizzard is removing all, CC across the board. Sorry, not all CC across the board. All silences and disarms across the board throughout the entire game. So you still have Counter Shot, but Silencing Shot has been removed from the game. There are several, well, I shouldn't say several, there are 3 new glyphs for a hunter. The first is going to be glyph of Quick Revival here. Your Revive Pet is now instant, but costs 80 focus. It's exclusive with glyph of Revive Pet. I honestly don't know how popular this will be. There is glyph of Snake Trap. Snake Trap was removed from the game, and it will now replace your Ice Trap if you want. This is an interesting decision because taking Snake Trap will break that shared cooldown between freezing and Snake Trap. So as you can see right here, I can fire off a Snake Trap. Oh, it looks like it's bugged right now. But there we go. I fire off a Snake Trap and it hits that target, and then on the other end I can go and I can freeze that target on the left hand side. So now that you have them on separate cooldowns, it's something that you can, possibly consider. The last glyph is actually pretty cool. It's glyph of Play Dead. Your pet also plays dead when you use Feign Death, so Feign Death right here. You can see my turtle go down. That's pretty cool. I like it. You can fool some more people, but if they were smart enough, they would realize that a hunter's pet just disappears when the hunter dies. So, that leaves us with the Draenor perks of a hunter. Honestly, the Draenor perks for Beast Mastery are terrible. I hate them. There's enhanced basic attacks. Your pet's basic attacks have a 15% chance to reset the basic attack cooldown and make the next basic attack free. I mean, that just sounds lame, in addition to it just being lame. Same thing with improved Beast Cleave. Your pet's attacks strike nearby enemy targets, and for an additional 25% damage done while Beast Cleave is active. Normally, when you have a passive, you can feel its effects when you gain it. You're not going to feel these passives ever, because they're tied to your pet who just sits there and auto attacks, and he has all of his, abilities on, auto. You're never going to see it or feel it. You're just going to notice a DPS burst, or boost, excuse me, but even then you're leveling at the same time, so it's just really pointless. They could have come up with something better. I mean, when I think of a passive, I think of something like this one up the top. Improved Focus Fire. Your Focus Fire now grants 2% increased attack power per frenzy stack consumed. You're going to notice that. When you, have a Focus Fire now, full 5 stacks, not only are you going to be attacking faster, but you're going to be hitting harder. That's something you'll notice. You don't really notice it when it's tied to your pet. The last Draenor perk here is Enhanced Camouflage. This is pretty awesome. You heal for 3% of your maximum health every 1 second while Camouflage is active. So I'll show you right here how cool this is. I'm going to drop. Took a lot of health. I'm going to go ahead and go into Camouflage here, and you can see, bottom left hand corner, you can see Camouflage healing me for 8k over and over and over again, very quickly, every 1 second. That's awesome. And remember, you can go into Camouflage in stealth, I mean, sorry, not in stealth. You can go into camouflage during combat and you'll get at least 6 seconds out of it, so you can get 18% of your health. But otherwise, this is a, if you were in a battle with someone, this is a quick way to, regenerate health, You were in a battle with a rogue or something and you barely survive, and then some DK off there, thinks easy pickings. You can quickly go into camo, heal yourself up, and then beat the DK. So that's pretty cool. That is everything regarding Draenor perks, and that leaves us with the talents for a hunter in Warlords of Draenor. Going from top to bottom, really nothing in the 10-30 tier. On the 40 tier, just know the Ironhawk is still there, it's just passive reduction of damage now. The 60 tier really got changed. First, you'll notice that Fervor is gone. Blizzard felt that it was too similar to Dire Beast, and so they wanted to remove it and replace it with something different. So they gave you Steady Focus. This was put in to kind of like mix up rotations and make things, more enjoyable, considering how gutted the class was. Steady Focus is exactly like it is on Marksmanship. You use Cobra Shot twice in a row or Steady Shot twice in a row to increase your focus regeneration by 50%. Honestly, I hate Steady Focus, and you will never see me use it. I just can't stand Steady Focus, and that was one of the things that I had trouble with, as marksman. But I know there are a lot of people out there who really liked it, so it's definitely something you can look at. There's Dire Beast. Dire Beast hasn't changed a bit, and then Thrill the Hunt's been changed quite a bit. Its percentage chance has changed. It's now 6% chance per 10 focused spent. So for example, before it was 30% flatline for any ability that you used. Now, Arcane Shot, it's going to be a, 18% chance to activate. Or Kill Command, it will be a 24% chance to activate. Same thing with Multi-Shot. They changed this because there were times in which you were accumulating so many Thrill the Hunt stacks that you weren't burning through them, like you were just continually getting them. When your Thrill the Hunt procced and your Arcane Shot was brought down to 10 focus, you were constantly still getting Thrill the Hunt, and you almost always had Thrill the Hunt. So that's why they had to make the change, so that they could accommodate for aimed shot and the other high focused cost abilities. So when you have a, Thrill the Hunt aim shot that you fire off, you're only going to get a 6% chance to reapply or start another Thrill of the Hunt stack. On the 75 tier, there's some major changes here as well. Murder of Crows had its focus cost cut in half and its cooldown cut in half. Now I may actually use it. I really didn't like it before because it was a 2-minute cooldown. I didn't raid on my hunter. My hunter was more for PvP, and so now I might use it because of the changes there, and it's actually, manageable cooldown now. You'll also notice that Stampede is now here. Stampede has been removed from baseline, and Link's Rush has been removed. This is a fantastic change. Now, I know a lot of you really like Stampede, and you can still grab it if you want. But the problem is that Hunter DPS was being tuned around Stampede, which means PvPers were really getting hit hard with a nerf because Stampede was so powerful, and they had to make sure that PvE, numbers were in line with, other classes. So now that Hunters will no longer be, balanced around the fact that they always have Stampede, things are going to be a lot better. Trust me, this is a great change for Hunters. The 90 tier didn't change too much. Glaive Toss, Power Shot's much more powerful, so that it's actually usable now. Barrage is the one that really changed. It had its focus cost and its damage doubled, and then its cooldown reduced by 10 seconds. Blizzard is attempting to get this used in a rotation more. I believe right now Beast Mastery and Survival are still using Glaive Toss, but I'm pretty sure that if any fight out there has even the remote chance of having, 2 mobs or 3 mobs that you can fire at, Barrage is going to be the go-to choice for a hunter. That leaves us with the level 100 talents for a hunter. First, we'll take a look at the right one here. It's Adaptation. It increases the effect of your pet's combat experience to 85% increased damage, and your pet now gains the following abilities regardless of its active spec. Spiked Collar, Roar of Sacrifice, Cornered, Boar's Speed, Last Stand, Blood of the Rhino, and Great Stamina. Um, I could be mistaken, but that pretty much means that if you grab Adaptation, you should probably just have your pet Spect Frenzy, so that you can have, the Phoenix Revival. Because this basically just turns it into a super pet with all of the abilities, almost all of the abilities of the other specs. So that's an interesting one, and I know that's what most Beastmaster hunters are taking. Exotic munitions is like poisons for, you know, hunters. It's like, rogue poisons for hunters. Basically, you have different types of ammos that you can use to fire at a target, and it applies to your auto shot. So for instance, I will start attacking this target right here. In the center, normal auto shot, hitting for around 4k. Now I can apply poisoned ammo. Poisoned ammo will arm your ranged weapon with exotic munition that lasts for an hour. Each auto shot deals 1700 additional nature damage over 16 seconds. When this effect is refreshed, the remaining damage will be added to the new effect. So as you can see, I'm starting to do damage, and poison ammo is starting to accumulate. And as you can see up in the top left hand corner here, I'm looking at the tooltip, poison ammo damage just is increasing and increasing. And I believe for right now it's usually been topping out around 800 or so, 900. I think at one point I even got up to 1,000, but it's around that range that it tops out once you have enough stacks onto there before the poison ammo starts falling off. Secondly, there's incendiary ammo. This works like a demon hunter's bola shot in Diablo 3. Basically, it's an AoE. So as you can see there, my auto shot is basically, hitting every target in range. It's pretty cool. Definitely a cool AoE ability to have. And then lastly, there's frozen ammo. It really does what you would think. It just freezes every target, snares them by 50%. This is powerful, and this can make hunters really annoying to have your auto shot snare someone, along with maybe a pet that has a snare, and then on top of that concussive shot has a snare. You basically, as a hunter, are the counter to melee in Warlords of Draenor at the moment. That I can tell you. The last change here is going to be Focusing Shot. I hate this ability. I'm just going to put that out there. I hate this ability. Focusing Shot, carefully line up a shot that deals 5800 physical damage and focuses you, generating 50 focus. Cannot be used while moving, and it replaces Steady and Cobra. So basically, it causes, you can see the nice spell visual here. It causes your focus bar to burst up and down, which I really hate. You really don't want your focus bar bursting up and down like you can with this ability. You have to at least make sure you have 60 free focus, or you'll end up wasting some, and that's a real disappointment. So honestly, I don't know any hunters that are taking Focusing Shot right now. I believe exotic munitions and adaptation are the choices for the moment. So, and then there's a different ability, Lone Wolf, for marksmanship and survival instead of adaptation. I believe those are the popular level 100 talents at the time. Focusing Shot may be popular, but the fact that you really don't want to lose your mobility, and so that's something that hunters really want to hang on to, and you lose it when you use Focusing Shot. So I don't see many people taking it, and maybe Blizzard will change it in the future. Otherwise, that's everything regarding hunters, or Beast Mastery hunters in Warlords of Draenor, and I will see you guys in the next video. Tearless out.